So, you think you want to run a furry group? That's cool. Let's talk about that. Make sure Gadget sees that. She's all about the cowbell thing. So a lot of people talk to me about wanting to run a furry group and what it takes to run a furry group and kind of where to start, what to expect, how to prepare. I've got some experience in that arena, so I thought that I would do a little mini series on how to run a furry group. There's a lot of complexity to it. A lot of people think it's really simple, and it's not. People don't realize how much work it actually is. If you really want to do it successfully and you want to do it effectively and you want to really make people happy, which is the ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is to make people happy. It takes a lot of work and there's a lot of pieces to it. So we're going to do a little mini series. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about something that I like talking about. It's funny. I have notes that say, so you want to run a furry group, but I mistyped it and it says, so you want to ruin a furry group? No, you don't want to do that. So this episode is going to be an introduction, and I want to start by asking you a question. Why? Why do you want to run a furry group? What is your motivation behind it? Because that's the most important question that you can ask yourself before you get started. I have seen a lot of people confuse running a furry group with...
And I will become the god of this new world.
A common mistake that I've seen a lot of people make is they confuse running a furry group with having power or being in control of things. If that's your motivation for doing it, not only is it not going to work, you're going to end up getting hated by a lot of people, because that core motivation that you think, that expectation that you've set for yourself, it's going to permeate through everything you do, and everyone's going to see it, and it's going to become very, very transparent to everybody what your real motivation is. It's almost like trying to grab a ball of water and hold it in your hands, and you're just trying desperately to grasp it, but it's water. It's just gonna go right through. It's gonna fall apart. You can never really you can't control it. There's no point in even trying to control it. That would be a selfish endeavor. So ask yourself what the reason is. If there's already furry groups in your area, if everybody is happy, there's local events that are happening, and people are satisfied, then there may not be a reason to even create another furry group. My view of starting a local furry group is that you are there to serve the community. That's it. So your entire purpose is to make everybody happy. Your job is to provide a safe environment that local furries can meet one another, they can share ideas, they can form friendships. You're kind of a facilitator. That's about it. So, okay, let's say you're getting started. You're ready to start your furry group. You're going to want to have a team of admins that you work with to get things started, because you can't do it all yourself. You can't be online 24/7 to police the chats or run all the events just by yourself without any help. If you're going to pick your friends as admins, just make sure that you're not just picking them because they're your friends. You want to make sure that there's something that they can contribute to the team that is valuable and that is positive, and you want to weigh those things. Because if you just stack your admin team with just your friends, and that's the only qualifier, that can actually end up ruining friendships, because you start to find out, okay, well, we have very different ideas about how we want to do this. Their motivations don't really align with yours. Their approach to things is completely opposite to yours, which is fine, but I've seen it turn toxic if you're not careful with that. It's okay to have your friends as admins. Just make sure that's not the only qualifier. Make sure that you're looking at other things on top of that. Some people are really, really good at moderating chats. They're really good with diplomacy online. And then there's some people that are exceptional at like the in-person stuff, working with people at the actual events, going to venues and talking with the venues to set events up. So you want to try to get a team that is kind of balanced. So the last thing on setting it up is you want to set up some internal rules or bylaws that govern how you guys decide how you're going to do things. You're probably going to have to vote on whether you want to do this or that. So if someone says they want to add a new rule to the chat, y'all are going to have to all vote on it as to whether or not you want to implement this new rule. You'll want very clear internal bylaws that state, okay, well, how does this work when it comes to the voting? And from personal experience, one thing I'm going to tell you, from day one, you need to already have in place a tiebreaker rule. Because if you start off with 5 admins and then one admin decides to leave and something happens to where, let's say that there's a user that 2 admins feel like, okay, well, I want to ban this person from our events. 2 of them say, I don't want to ban them, and you have no tiebreaker rules. Then you're stuck. Things are never going to move forward and it can create bitterness. It's going to be really difficult to come up with a tiebreaker rule in the middle of trying to solve a tie. So you want to get that out of the way long before that scenario ever happens. You will save yourself so much grief down the road if you do that one simple thing. Just to summarize, make sure you have your tiebreaker rule. Make sure you pick a team that will be able to complement one another and a team that works well together and a team that can sort of balance the online and the IRL aspects of running a fur group. And then, of course, make sure that the reason that you're doing it in the first place is coming from a place of sincerity. So I'm actually going to be doing a couple of other episodes about this. I'll pepper them in over time, and I'll cover all kinds of topics that deal with how to manage your chat, the banning, because banning is very sensitive. It's a very tough topic to cover. Things like worst case scenario, you have to ban someone from an event. What do you do in that case? How do you go about it? There's just so many topics that we can cover that are very practical and very useful that I'm very much looking forward to covering. So I hope this was helpful for y'all. Make sure that you let me know with a like or a comment down below. If you have specific furry group related topics you want me to cover, put those in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye-bye now.